I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand. I do maintain that if your hair is wrong, your entire life is wrong. Never stop acquiring the common sense. It is as good as the knowledge. The king is only fond of words and cannot translate them into deeds. All I have is all I need, and all I need is all I have in this moment. You will do foolish things, but do them with enthusiasm. Fear is nothing more than a negative assessment of risk. It's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get up. People say that life is the thing, but I prefer reading. Creating individuality, which creates and protects others' individualities, is good. Every man reaches his destination if he just keeps walking. I live in my own little world, but it's okay, they know me here. What is to be, will be, and no prayers of ours can arrest the decree. Distance sometimes lets you know who is worth keeping and who is worth letting go. Only he who has no use for the empire is fit to be entrusted with it. It takes greater faith to dance in the dark than to rest in light. To have a human form of a joyful thing, but in the universe of possible forms, there are others just as good. Never argue with stupid people. They will drag you down to their level and then beat you with experience. Having nothing to struggle against, they have nothing to struggle for. How we spend our days is, of course, how we spend our lives. Honest is how I want to look. The truth doesn't glitter and shine. The truths that matter most to us come always half-spoken. This place has only 3 exits, sir: madness and death. It's failure that gives you the proper perspective on success. The older I grow, the more I distrust the familiar doctrine that age brings wisdom. If you follow the enemy's shifts and changes, you can always find a way to win. Slowing down was how we remembered what we never wanted to forget. Look for the good in every person and every situation. You'll almost always find it. There is no instance of a nation benefiting from prolonged warfare. Convince your enemy that he will gain very little by attacking you. This would diminish his enthusiasm. I don't think there's anything wrong with telling the truth. I know it isn't fashionable. Great understanding is broad and unhurried. Little understanding is cramped and busy. A good completion takes a long time. A bad completion cannot be changed later. People don't always want to be with people. It gets tiring. It's important in life. If you don't give a shit, it can help you a lot. In war, then, let your great object be victory, not lengthy campaigns. Once you stop learning, you start dying. True words are not fancy. Fancy words are not true. The good do not debate. Debaters are not good. Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. If tomorrow were never to come, it would not be worth living today. If truth doesn't set you free, generosity of spirit will. Stop trying to create a new you around the same old people. Lower your expectations, but never lower your standards. Be brave to stand for what you believe in, even if you stand alone. The greatest victory is that which requires no battle. A fool despises good counsel, but a wise man takes it to heart. Knowledge of the enemy's dispositions can only be obtained from other men. Recognizing power in another does not diminish your own. Only those people create history who doesn't live in the future. There is no such thing as a great talent without great willpower. Procrastination makes easy things hard and hard things harder. The most dangerous of all falsehoods is a slightly distorted truth. The right mindset is the first step towards the journey. Creativity is intelligence having fun. The only time you fail is when you fall down and stay down. We don't have to defeat any individual but our own self. Show me that I am everywhere and get me home for tea. Si no usaba esta vida, entonces la estaba desperdiciando. There's no point having wishes if you don't at least try to do them. The truth doesn't mind being told every once in a while. When the going gets weird, the weird turn professional. I ought to go upright and vital and speak the rude truth in all ways. Your strongest muscle and worst enemy is your mind. Train it well. History, Stephen said, is a nightmare from which I am trying to awake. Build your opponent a golden bridge to retreat across. If your life is worth thinking about, it is worth writing about. All is mystery, but he is a slave who will not struggle to penetrate the dark veil. Serious thinkers are few, and the world is ruled by crude ideas. And when all the wars are over, a butterfly will still be beautiful. You don't get what you wish for. You get what you work for. Life is too short when you think of the length of death. True goodness springs from a man's own heart. All men are born good. Slowly we became silent, and silence itself, if an enemy to friendship. If you make a mistake and do not correct it, this is called a mistake. Don't get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life. You are not the opinion of someone who doesn't know you. The truth does not change according to our ability to stomach it. Having the life of your dreams is simple. Make conscious choices. So in war, the way is to avoid what is strong and strike at what is weak. It's what's in yourself that makes you happy or unhappy. The nourishment of body is food, while the nourishment of the soul is feeding others. When you procrastinate, you become a slave to yesterday. Forget injuries, never forget kindnesses. Living never wore one, so much as the effort not to live. There's so much to be grateful for. Words are poor things. You have made the moon, the jester said. That is the moon. Don't be afraid of death. Be afraid of the unlived life. Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. Don't fear big. Fear mediocrity. Fear waste. Fear the lack of living to your fullest. What is right is not always popular, and what is popular is not always right. Never worry a bit in life. Always be full of merriment. But man's duty is to try and endeavor. Success depends upon chance and environments. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. If truth is not acceptable, it becomes the imagination of others. We are all insects, groping towards something terrible or divine. Sand lines my soul, which is filled with the breath of the ocean. Life happens, shit happens, and it happens a lot, to a lot of people. Energy may be likened to the bending of a crossbow, decision to the releasing of a trigger. The only real battle in life is between hanging on and letting go. A kingdom that has once been destroyed can never come again into being, nor can the dead ever be brought back to life.